In 1978, GM started downsizing its intermediate line, and the Buick Century was among the cars to die it. By 1982, the Century was twice downsized and now front-wheel drive and based on the A platform, shared with the Chevrolet Celebrity, Pontiac 6000, and Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. By 1992, only the Century and Cutlass Sierra remained of the A bodies, and final facelifts were completed and would last with the car until its complete redesign in 1996 for the 1997 model year. Our 1992 Buick Century Limited was produced at the Oklahoma City Assembly Plant in Oklahoma City. I originally filmed this car in 2017, and the footage basically sat on a shelf until my learning that not too long ago this car was completely destroyed in a fire, making this the last video footage of the car in the condition as you will see it. So I look to this as sort of a digital preservation of this car. And here we are taking a look at this very nice and very well equipped 1992 Buick Century Limited. It is painted in dark maple red metallic and finished in dark ruby velour cloth. Its when new pricing is shown on the screen with full options list in the description box below. The 5th generation was the first Century that was front-wheel drive, and in this car power comes from the optional 3.3-liter LG7 3300 overhead valve pushrod V6 engine that is of cast iron block aluminum head construction with multi-port fuel injection and a 9-to-1 compression ratio. It creates 160 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, 185 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM. This car can rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.2 seconds, with 0 to 100 miles per hour reached in 32.2 seconds, and the quarter mile in 17.5 seconds at 81 miles per hour. Top speed is limited to 110 miles per hour. The Century is equipped with a 15.7 U.S. gallon fuel capacity and consumes 5 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of around 317 miles. Its EPA fuel economy figures are 17 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway, and 20 miles per gallon combined. 2 transmissions were offered, a 3-speed automatic being one, but our car is equipped with a GM Turbo Hydromatic 4-speed 440 T4 automatic with overdrive. Rear suspension is very dated solid beam design with a lateral track bar and coil-over spring shock setup. Around the rear, the car is unmistakable as a Buick. There is a lot going on back here, namely the rather unsightly but popular at this time trunk-mounted luggage rack. Integrated into the center of this rack is a third brake light. Centermost, one cannot escape the decidedly Buick full-width taillights with the reverse lights neatly tucked in the center behind a smoked white lens that bisects the gloss black divider strip. Along the profile, the Century is unassuming and pretty bland in style. Only a recognizing feature of this is remembering Fox and Dana from the X-Files frequently having them as rentals. That said, the Century sits on a 104.9-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 189.1 inches. Steering is hydraulically assisted rack and pinion with 2.8 turns lock to lock and a 38.5-foot turning radius. Wheels are 14-inch black painted steel wheels complete with aluminum simulated wire spoke wheel covers, with tires measuring P185/75 R14 BF Goodrich Revelation all seasons. Brakes are unremarkable power assisted front disc rear drum setup with foot operated parking brake. Front suspension is fully independent McPherson strut with lower control arms and a stabilizer bar. Walking around the front, it's hard to tell what year a Century is, seeing that the design is relatively unchanged from 1991 until its demise in 1996. The car didn't exactly age well, however, and in the early 90s, it wasn't a bad-looking car and fit right in with the rest of the Buick lineup. The car no longer has sealed beam headlamps, but now uses glass headlamp housing with dual halogen 9006 low beam and 9006 high beam bulbs. Alright. Alright, it's 1992, so we don't have smart key access, but we do have remote keyless entry via this key fob. And opening the door to the Century reveals a relatively nice interior, especially for the time. It's pretty well equipped, seeing that this is a limited. As you can see, pretty standard GM door cards, velour trim, soft vinyl touch, these weird door-mounted 3-point seat belts. You have power mirror control switch on the door trim. You've got chrome door handles, power windows, and power door locks. You've also got a nice amount of burled wood harvested from the plastic forest. Taking a look through the interior, as you can see here, pretty nice cushiony seats. They don't offer any kind of lateral support, obviously. This is not a performance car. But this velour fabric and the seat cushions are actually supremely comfortable for a car of this class size and offer great riding comfort. On the instrument panel, you do have your interior light dimmer. You've also got your headlamp and parking lamp switches here. We've also got a tilt steering column, power adjustable seats via the controls on the front part of the seats. It is a 6-way power seat. It does offer seat back recline, as well as fore and aft adjust and up and down adjust. Alright, let's pan through the interior and show more details. As you can see here, nice fluidic, easy to use power assisted steering on a neoprene steering wheel. This vehicle does feature multi-function controls for volume, audio controls, AM, FM, seek and scan, all on the steering wheel, which is a very nice touch. There is no airbag, obviously. This is a multi-function control lever, very typical of GMs, with the integrated cruise controls mounted on the tip of the stalk. You've also got turn indicators, wiper controls, washer controls, your tilt lever, and a nice amount of instrumentation that Motor Week would be proud of. You do have a speedometer, fuel gauge, voltmeter, and coolant temperature gauge. However, Motor Week would love to see an oil pressure gauge. Alright, moving over to the flat top dash, as you can see, it's in pretty nice condition. You do have a large air vent, a pretty standard AM/FM cassette player, GM radio, and down below, very easy to use climate controls. You also have an ashtray down below. However, this car has never been smoked in. A nice little trick map light here in the dashboard. And you've also got the toggle switch for your rear defogger. Alright, center armrest folds up to reveal 6 passenger seating. It also opens up to reveal storage and a concealable cup holder. It does have a velour padded top for extra armrest comfort. Center passenger is belted in via just a lap belt. Overall, the interior of this car is actually very nice. I really wish it hadn't been burned to the ground like it has been, because this is a very nice example of Centuries. Overhead, you do have a manually dimming rearview mirror. You've also got nice, large, padded sun visors that feature large vanity mirrors with illumination. And the sun visors swing out, but they do not slide out, nor do they have extensions. Overhead, we do have an overhead dome light, and you do have 2 reading lights on the outboard sides. Alright, let's take a look at the rear seat now. Opening the rear door, it doesn't open up very wide, about 80 degrees or so, but the rear doors feature the same styling as the front doors. They even have their own power window switches back here. And the rear seats do seat 3 across with outboard lap and shoulder belts, but a center lap belt. There is no fold down center armrest and no head restraints. There's also no rear lighting controls back here as well. There's no, the seats are actually pretty comfortable, however. You do have a nice amount of headroom. There is no rear air vents except for in the floor. There are also no map pockets in the seat backs, but you do have one seat back mounted ashtray. There are 3 ways to enter the trunk on this car. You can press the yellow trunk release button inside the glove box, use the oval key in the keyhole, or press and hold the trunk button on the remote transmitter. Inside, you'll find a large and spacious trunk that is fully carpeted with a load flat floor and 16.2 cubic feet of luggage capacity. The compact spare tire, jack, and tools reside under the floor mat.